Every journey has a purpose. And each time I venture out to explore new destinations around the globe,
yeah, it's a biggie.
I am following my travel quest.
I'm Eric Hansen. When I see a trail, I see more than a path from point A to point B. A good trail is the ultimate opportunity to explore, to discover new landscapes, and to challenge myself. When I don't have a pack on my back, I'm thinking about my next big adventure, because my mission is simple. My mission is to discover the world's most epic trails.
The steak menu from Saung Steak Galunggung. A little bit lack of seasoning. This is the famous sate taichan that Bang Khodris sell for about 1,000 every single day.
Tiap hari begini lah, enak tak enak pun dah terlanjur.
Kalau sebut ayam ya, semua kenal.
Nanti akan saya buktikan bahwa saya akan bisa lebih dari kamu.
Gising tahu yang pertama kali lempar mie itu papa saya.
Dulu resep ini dari nenek. Nenek turun kasih bapak, bapak turun kasih saya. Nanti kan turun kasih anak juga.
Folks, welcome back to the C Morning Show right here on C. Today we do have the latest update in the sports spectrum, and we begin from NBA, where of course the two buddy brothers, Nikola Jokic and of course from the Denver Nuggets, New Orleans keeps their 5-game win streak by defeating the Dallas Mavericks 122-120 on Sunday night. It definitely must be a very hard night for Jokic, with Michael Porter Jr. still victory for the Denver Nuggets, though, as he scored a mid-range jumper with 7 seconds remaining in the game. It was the first time the Denver Nuggets struggled in their 5-game winning streak as Nikola Jokic battled Maverick star Kyrie Irving. Nikola Jokic notched a historical 37 points, 18 rebounds, and 15 assists for his 4th straight triple-double. Meanwhile, Jamal Murray netted 18 points and Porter finished with 17 for Denver. On the opposing side, Kyrie Irving scored a season-high 43 points for Dallas, while Luka Doncic added 24 points and Daniel Gafford netted 16. Irving scored 3 shots from the three-point line for Dallas when they trailed behind Nuggets in the final round. Both sides kept pace with each other, with Dallas regaining 121-18 lead over Denver with 1 minute and 39 seconds left. However, Porter Jr. scored in the dying seconds of the game, while Irving missed a 3-point attempt at the buzzer. So again, with Luka and Nikola, it must have been a hard night, but again, Denver win the W and can't wait for the next game.
Nuggets switch it. Kyrie's got Brown, and they got a double, don't you? Kyrie doesn't go. No good. Tip no. Jokic has it, and the Nuggets.
That was a tight game indeed. Now to another game that we'd like to spotlight. Nikola Jokic offered a layup with only 7.8 seconds to end the Miami Heat's 3-game lose streak when they defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 95-94. Jovic went to the line to give the Heat their first lead since 63-61. The Serbian scored 15 points and 7 rebounds in his first game off the bench this season. Mike Conley failed a 3-point attempt for Timberwolves at the buzzer, while McDaniels gave them the lead with a putback on 9 seconds left. Tyler Herro scored 26 points for Heat, who had to make do without the star Jimmy Butler. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards scored 22 points for Timberwolves, who trailed by 12 points after a 3-4-15 start from 3-point range. Miami Heat ended their 3-game lose streak by defeating the Timberwolves 95-94. And also, I would like to mention again one of the games, and that was the Lakers and also with the Toronto Raptors, 123-103. As you're still watching here, please do let me enlighten on this game. Again, as I said before, with LeBron James had recorded his 2nd straight triple-double. James had 19 points, 16 assists, and also 10 rebounds. Austin Reeves playing really well with 27 points for the Lakers, who improved 5-0 at home. And right now with Lakers 6-4. And not to mention, it was such a high game on that game against Toronto Raptors. Now we know that AD is now currently injured, and hopefully with this latest that Lakers were still coming up the ladder, especially for the Western Conference. Now we're going to shift our focus from basketball to some football update, where the anticipation is building as Indonesia prepares to face Japan in a crucial 2026 World Cup Asian qualifiers match on Friday. The Japanese football team has arrived in Indonesia with their top players to train ahead of the match.
Ahead of the 2026 World Cup qualifier for Japan against Indonesia, the Japanese national team have arrived here in Jakarta, Indonesia, as they are preparing. They conducted a practice session on Monday evening, and they arrived earlier Monday morning at around 1:30 a.m. at Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, where the first batch was led by head coach Hajime Moriyashu, which includes key players like Yuto Nagatomo, Sakine Hiroki, Kosei Tani, and Kota Takai. And the rest of Japan national team has also arrived and conducted the practice session on Monday evening. So the upcoming match will be a critical one, as Indonesia will be facing the Group C leader, which is Japan. So Japan currently tops the standings with a 10-point strong after a strong performance for 4 matches with China, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia, where Japan won the game, and Japan also scored a drew with Australia. So the practice session marks the final stage of the preparation ahead of the qualifier for the 2026 World Cup. And it is going to be a crucial game indeed, and this practice not only helps the team to sharpen the skills, but also to foster the atmosphere, to get familiarized with the weather around Jakarta. So earlier that the team were eager to test their strategies, as well as their training sessions were looking strong, and looking forward for the match on Friday between Indonesia and Japan. So that's Maudika Alisha and Fahrian Bahri for See Today.
And that is what you call a determination. Even though soaking up the rain, the Japan squad is doing their training. And of course, our Indonesian squad cannot wait for the game on Friday, 15th of November. Now from the pitch, we're going to straight away to the tracks, where thousands of laps will complete in Madrid this week, as Formula E's 22 drivers had tested the new Gen 3 Evo car ahead of season 11, with Mitch Evans setting the fastest time, while the sport also hosted its first ever all-women test session, showcasing rising female talent in the motorsports.
Thousands of laps and kilometers were completed across the entire Formula E field this week in Madrid, across 6 sessions, as Formula E's 22 drivers got to grips with the new Gen 3 Evo car. It was the first and only chance for the grid to get together ahead of season 11 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Champions, which begins in early December. Mitch Evans from Jaguar TCS Racing set the benchmark time of the week in the final session on a 1 minute 27.4, with the Porsche-powered Kiro car up there again, as Dan Tickham finished second fastest and reigning champ Pascal Wehrlein from Porsche came in third.
Yeah, I think overall it was a very positive test week. No bigger issues. We went through our program. I think we learned a lot. I'm sure everyone else did as well. I feel like we are in a good position to start the season. Still some areas where we can improve, definitely. But yeah, I'm sure we will do it.
In the meantime, Formula E played host to the first ever all-women test session for an FIA World Championship at Circuito del Jarama in Madrid, with Abby running out fastest.
This is so important to me. If it wasn't for a test like this, I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity to do this. So I'm forever thankful for how accommodating Formula E are being, as well as all the teams involved. And yeah, I just hope that it shows all the teams we can participate, and we can hopefully get a place on the grid in the near future. And yeah, hopefully it also shows the younger girls that this is a viable destination for them.
The 3-hour session was part of the 2024-2025 Formula E World Championships pre-season testing schedule. The first of its kind test provided the elite women racing drivers the opportunity to drive the new 4-season 11 Gen 3 Evo race car. which is capable of 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 1.82 seconds, 30% faster than a current F1 car. Chadwick, who was representing Jaguar TCS Racing in the test, came in second, with McLaren development driver and F1 Academy racer Bianca Bustamante rounded out the top 3.
I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. The adrenaline is still inside me. Obviously, we've never been here before, so track familiarization, the first few laps, literally just trying to figure out where the corners were. We got up to speed quickly. We were like within top 5 the whole session, and then immediately we put on the new tires. We actually were P1 for quite a while. We set the early reference, and then on the last run, we dropped back down to P3, I think.
For much of the field, it was the first time they had sampled any generation of Formula E car, with every driver getting in their very first laps in the Gen 3 Evo.
I tell you, the one thing that was the most impressive was the launch. I did a couple, and it's incredible how quick that car goes from 0 to 100. It's so impressive. So yeah, that was probably my highlight.
With all the women on track at the same time, the session creates a tangible platform for a wide pool of elite drivers who wouldn't otherwise get an opportunity to drive machinery at this level. The task is aimed at providing not only with a destination, but also a pathway to develop their careers and skills using current technology at its full potential.
And speaking of the latter, Formula E hosted a historic all-woman test session featuring 18 of the fastest women in the world in Madrid, Spain. However, none of the participants had more impact in racing than the Italian driver Simona De Silvestro. And the 36-year-old raced 4 full seasons in the IndyCar series and finished 13 overall in 2013. She was also the first female point scorer in Formula E in 2016.
Formula E historically hosted an all-women test session involving 18 of the fastest women in the world in Madrid, Spain. However, none has had more of an impact in the world of racing than Italian driver Simona De Silvestro. She's speaker is the ultimate all-rounder, who is now training for 2026 Winter Olympics as a member of the Italian bobsleigh team. With her fast experience attracting the Kiro Race Company, Kiro said they usually support Formula E's women's tests and is eager to work with a driver with Simona's level of experience and capability.
Yeah, the Gen 3 Evo car, I think, is quite different. You know, you have four-wheel drive in push mode, so that's unique in a Formula car. So that's pretty cool, you know, because you can do that with an electric car. And I'm excited to really try it on the track as well. You know, I think the car will be quite quick, and also with the front-wheel drives, it's going to drive differently than anything I'm used to. So just to understand how that works, and yeah, you know, try to put the quickest time together at the end of the day. You know, I think at the end of the day, that's always the goal. Ja, es ist mega cool, dass wir da sind zum Testen, also mit dem neuen Auto. Ich bin es auch noch nie gefahren vorher, so freue ich mich einfach, das auszuprobieren. Und als Test auch für die ganzen Frauen da ist das eigentlich ein guter erster Step von all denen, die das mal lernen können, mal in einem Formel-E-Auto hocken und überhaupt mal das ganze Experience auszuprobieren. Und ich glaube, es wird spannend sein morgen. Und ich glaube, wir freuen uns alle, dass wir da sind und eine gute Show machen können.
De Silvestro flew to the Italian bobsleigh training camp in Latvia just a day after concluding the test and exchanging final data with Kiro.
And of course, with that update, I would like to extend my congratulatory. And of course, as a woman myself, I've seen that women nowadays are breaking the glass ceiling. And because right now, usually sports industry is dominated and the norm by men, but now we're seeing a lot of talented, hardworking, hard-training women that could equally din and being passionate and also being talented and being honored and being accepted in the industry itself. So kudos to them. Now into some extreme sports. The 2024 Cliff Diving World Series season concluded in style in Sydney with 2 champions who take the crown as the series returns for the second time. Rhiannon Eflin of Australia and Aidit Haslam of the United Kingdom were crowned as Cliff Diving World Champions on Sunday as the 2024 Cliff Diving World Series season concluded with Sydney's iconic harbour as the backdrop. Women's champion Evelyn scored a total of 359.70 points ahead of Canadian Simone Lethead and Ukrainian Nelly Chukavanska. Meanwhile, the men's category Heslop lifted the title after gaining 121 championship points despite finishing 5th on the final day. He was 14 points ahead of his U.S. counterpart James Lisnaston, who could only finish 9th. Additionally, Ukrainian Oleksiy Pirgorov won the competition at Sydney with 405.80 points. And of course, you're going to love our next update. It is very poppin' as the Vietnamese popper MT Pop defeated French hip-hop dancer Rubix in a showdown final to win the Red Bull Dance Your Style 2024 World Championship title on Saturday in Mumbai, India. As you can see, it is very crowded. 5,500 people filled Mumbai's NSCI to watch and cast their votes on 16 international dancer competition or competing for the title. With no judging panel, pre-choreographed routines, or pre-selected music, the competitors